Hello.
Chris Valix, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. You?
We just got done blasting one of your new tracks, Mortal Rift, man. Holy shit, dude.
Awesome.
That's fucking badass, man. It's so fucking... Dude, the whole record is just fucking insane from start to finish, man. It's just, I don't even know, man. It's just so much energy, dude.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So tell us, man, what's going on in the world of Black Pestilence? What have you guys been up to?
Well, really, just after the release of Chaotic Wisdom, we did a Canadian tour in September to support that. And then after, we played a couple of shows. And basically, at this moment right now, we're just gearing up to continue to get on some more tours and play some more shows and to continue to support the album.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It would be awesome to see you guys be able to come down here to Tennessee at some point, man. That would be fucking killer, dude.
Yeah, we would really like that for sure.
Hell yeah. So tell us give us a little brief history on the band. Like, how did you guys get started and
So it actually I started it in 2008. It was actually a solo project. I wrote everything. I played all the instruments, did all that. I'm a bass player and vocalist, originally, and I still obviously do that in the band, but in the early days, I played all the other instruments, and it wasn't until the third album, In Defiance, that I, kind of had a live band get together and help support me play live shows. There have been a number of different members who have come and gone throughout the band, but the latest members who are currently in the band now, Davey Hellfire and Daniel Towes, they've been in the band for the past since 2018, and they have been on the last two albums, Chaotic Wisdom and Hail the Flesh.
Man, that's cool as hell, dude. I always love hearing stories about the one-man bands that turn into a full band and then become something like this, because that's, there's a lot of them. I'm one of them. I've done my own music myself for years, and I know a lot of other people out there that do it like that too. And it's always, it's just one of those things, like when you're, tell us when you started out and you were just doing it yourself like that, doing everything. Did you imagine it being a full band, or was it kind of did you get caught by surprise for that, or?
I would say, to a degree, it's still. Don't get me wrong. The other members definitely do play an integral role in the band now, but to a degree it still is a little bit, I'm still driving the bus, I'm still writing all the music and, doing all the things behind the scenes. But no, in the beginning, no, it was just a way to just write music that I wanted to do. I really wanted to combine black metal and punk rock and electronic noises together. And, obviously, I don't think there were many people out there that I could find that were really into all of that being all fused together. So I think I kind of had to do that. And in the early days, yeah, it was just, I had live members, I think it was about 2 years into the band, I decided to play live for the first time, and I just got, hired guns to come in. I think they played a couple shows with me, but I could tell that they weren't really into it, and that's okay,
Yeah, that's something I really like about your sound too, is the mix of punk rock with black metal, and then also you add in the little like fucking industrial kind of sounds that sort of give it a different atmosphere. It's very unique. Like it's definitely a unique sound, man, and it's got a cool vibe.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I think obviously, it is authentically me. It is authentically Black Pestilence, but it's kind of funny because it's too metal for the punks and it's too punk for the metalheads. So kind of stuck in this weird middle ground,
Nah. Well, I'm a fucking metalhead myself, dude, and I fucking love it. But I mean, then again, I do, I love shit like Misfits and fucking old school stuff like that, man. Dead Kennedys and shit like that.
Yeah, awesome.
What kind of tell us about your influences? Like what kind of bands were you listening to growing up, and what got you into doing this kind of music?
Uh, I'd say, I'd say probably I would say the two bands that influenced me the most to start Black Pestilence would be on the metal side, I would say Marduk, and then on the punk side, I would say the Casualties. And there you go. That's the formula for Black Pestilence right there.
Fuck yeah, man. And the name itself, Black Pestilence. How did you guys come up with that?
Honestly, there it just sounded cool at the time. I just thought of it, and I always thought the word pestilence was cool, but obviously that is taken.
Yeah.
Um, but and then I thought, well, either black or dark in front of it, and dark pestilence had been taken. So, but nobody had taken black pestilence, so I thought, why the hell not?
Man, it's evil as fuck, dude. If you think about it, because I mean, pestilence itself means like every single disease ever, like all wrapped up into one, right? But
Hmm.
then it's also black, so it's like
Yeah,
it's double fucking evil, man.
that's right.
Hell yeah. Well, for all the gearheads out there, can you give us a rundown of some of the equipment and stuff that you guys are using, like your pedals, amps, and strings, whatever?
Yeah, so for me, when I play bass, right now I'm using a Fender American 5 string jazz, and I use a dark glass Alpha Omega pedal. That gives it that nice overdriven tone. For the longest time, I used to use a Dingwall, but everyone in their dog and metal plays Dingwall with dark glass, so I kind of abandoned that. A few years ago, and I wanted to go back to Fender because, well, all the punk guys play Fender, and very few metal guys play Fender. So I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different in that sense. In regards to Daniel, he's an Ibanez, guitarist, and I do admit I don't know much of his gear. I just know mine, and then Davey, on the drums. I actually don't know. I think he's a Pearl guy. I have no idea though, so can't speak for those guys.
Right on. Well, as far as the recording process, man, because the production on this is really, really good. Did you guys go to a professional studio, or did you do this at home, or like how did you guys do this?
Yeah, so it's all recorded in my home studio, which is
Nice.
very very tiny, a tiny room, really, and so it is. Yeah, just I don't want to say bedroom recording because it's not, but it is a very tiny studio in my home, and I just get it sent off to get mixed, and it was Sasha Lasco from Every Hour Kills. He's the guy who mixed and mastered the last two albums.
Dude, I think that actually makes it even cooler just knowing that, because I mean, it's like when I'm listening to it, I couldn't tell, like to me it sounds like I just think that's a testament to how far technology has come and what bands are able to do nowadays versus back in the old days.
Hmm. Yeah, and we still did some, like we still do certain things like old school. We still mic amps and things like that, and it's not all purely digital. I have done a lot of albums where with virtual amps, virtual drums, but also have done ones the acoustic way as well. And so I think it's finding that a good balance and combination between analog and digital to make a unique sound.
Hell yeah. What about the electronic fucking sounds that you guys have mixed in there, man? How did you guys do that?
So that is mostly I use a Native Instruments machine. It's like a classic 808 kind of drum sampler, 16 pad sampler. And I have a bunch of different VSTs where I program different sounds and soundscapes in order to come up with this. And other times too, I just plug in a bunch of pedals and I just make noise with them and feedback, and then I just drag them into my recording software, and I just mess with them until I figure out how I can put it into the music. So it's really it really is an experimental process. And I'm thinking I might actually just do a video showing how I come up with it, because I do spend a lot of time working on the samples, even though they're just the icing on the cake, if you will, as part of the music.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and you know what? You should do a video on that, man. And if you do that, let me know, because we'll fucking we'll put that out in your press release, man.
Absolutely.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. People love watching shit like that, man. It's always cool to see. I don't know. I know I like watching stuff like that. So if I like watching stuff like that, there's other people out there that like it too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, man.
As far as your the lyrical content on these records, on these songs, what can you tell us about that?
Most of them are, uh, Levianist, satanic lyrics, just, that kind of philosophy, the individualist kind of way of life. Uh, for the most part, sometimes I talk about social issues and whatnot. Obviously there's been a big division within the world, but, it's not, it's important, I think, to not get lost in either side, and still have an open mind.
Oh yeah. In your local area, like, do you deal with a lot of fucking shit from the church and stuff like that? Like, does that kind of is that where that's fueled from, or?
Uh, I mean, I guess to a degree, you could say that Alberta is the Bible Belt of Canada, but I mean, it's pretty open minded now. Maybe I'd say 15 years ago, definitely it was way more conservative. But over the past couple of years, it's especially Calgary has turned into a cultural hub, and it's very much a melting pot of many different ideologies. But you're still going to have your typical right wing conservative Christians who uh, you know looking to make trouble with anyone who doesn't agree with them, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. They're fucking brutal down here, dude.
Yeah.
They're relentless, man. Fucking they've been hammering us ever since we started doing these festivals, and yeah, it's crazy. Like when we first did it, the first year, I did not really even realize. I mean, I knew that there was still a lot of churches around here, and that was still very prevalent, but I didn't know that it was still to that degree. Like, in this time and age, or in this time, I thought that, I don't know, because I've lived in other places too where it's not, nothing that people even think about. But down here in the South, man, yeah, it's definitely still a big deal, and like, they get freaked out, man.
Yeah. No, I definitely I read some of the articles that on your festival there, and yeah, no, and that is crazy that people are still very much spooked at that, just a music festival.
Well, so tell us about your live shows, man. For people out there who've never seen you guys live, what can they expect at a live show of Black Pestilence, man? What's it like?
It's just high energy. I guess if they haven't seen our image, to be prepared. Really, that's it. Just high energy. Moshing music, and that's what we're all about, and that's what we want to see.
Oh yeah. Speaking of the imagery and stuff, I know, like watching your videos and shit, you guys have really cool image and aesthetic. Can you tell us about that? Like how did that come about?
Uh, I guess I've always been inspired by visual bands that have a lot of imagery and aesthetics. So obviously, I wanted to do something like that too. I used to play in a black metal band where obviously you do the corpse paint and all that, but it just obviously corpse paint. I still think it's cool, but obviously it's overdone, and it's every black metal band does it, or a lot of them do it, and it's kind of lost its appeal or uniqueness to me. So when I started Black Pestilence, actually I did start out with corpse paint, but I dropped that pretty quickly, and a lot of that had to do with I didn't want to. Well, with my old band, putting it on every night, that really sucked, and then taking it off, that sucked. That sucked as well too, and I didn't want to devote so much time to putting on corpse paint. So I wanted, but I still wanted to have a visual aesthetic. And I've always been a fan of masks. And I thought, well, that doesn't take long to put on. And, you don't need to, and it's unique too. It had, and, obviously I didn't want to do anything like, Slipknot, cause they got their gimmick and that's cool. But so I wanted to think of a mask kind of gimmick that, not other bands I knew of that really did anything like that. And I don't think there are many that do the kind of leather half mask thing. At least I hope nobody out there is doing it.
No, I don't think I've seen anybody else do that. And when I saw that, I was like, immediately, I was like, "Fuck, man, that's fucking yeah." Like it looks fucking menacing, man. It looks like it looks like it sounds. I guess is what I should say. Like it definitely fits.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's glad to hear yeah, because that's I definitely want the image to complement the music and vice versa.
Hell yeah, man. So looking back on your career so far, what are some of the do you have any crazy stories from the road or any moments, like that you can remember, anything that you want to share with us?
Mm, well, I'd say for me, our first European tour, we had quite a few mishaps. We were in, I think it was the second show of the tour. We were in Skopje, Macedonia, and we after the show, it was a great show. We ended up going to this bar because some people invited us out. We ended up parking, obviously, our tour vehicle in a very sketchy parking lot, and should have known better. I was like, oh, maybe we should throw our stuff in our accommodations first. They thought, no, we'll stop in for a drink and then we'll take care of that later. Well, lo and behold, of course, the vehicle gets broken into. My bass gets stolen
Oh
second night of the
shit.
tour. Yeah, thankfully we had friends that could hook us up with a bass for the rest of the tour. That really sucked. So definitely, learned my lesson pretty quickly on that one. And then, yeah, we had other couple times too where, yeah, we were traveling through, I can't remember, I think it was like traveling through Serbia, and we didn't have a certain document to bring amps over the border. And, we had to like bribe border guards to hold on to our amps, go play the show, come back and make sure that they didn't sell our amps on us. So that happened too. Thankfully they didn't. We got everything back, but we had to do some of that. Other tours we've had guys get food poisoning, and my hat's off to Dan for sticking through it. He got food poisoning about 5 years ago on one tour on the road. I can't remember where we were. I think somewhere like Romania, and he ate something bad, and he was dying for like a couple of days, and we had some long drives ahead of us, and he muscled through it. He played the shows. He did not look well, but he still did it, and so my hat's off to him for pulling through.
That's got to be rough, man.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, look, man, you don't need to play tonight. Like I was willing to just do like a bass and drums thing, for the night, but he threw on his mask and he said, I didn't fly all the way over here just to quit. And I was like, holy shit. All right.
Fuck yeah, man. That's metal right there, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. What are some of the bands that you guys have shared the stage with, man?
We played with Soulfly. We played with Toxic Holocaust twice now. Wednesday 13, the Black Dahlia Murder, Skeleton Witch. Yeah, those are the ones off the top of my head at the moment that I can think of.
Hell yeah, I've seen all those guys live, man. All badass bands.
Awesome.
Well, if you could play with anybody, if what would be like your dream fucking lineup, man, for a show?
Dream lineup. I would say, well, I'd really like to play with Marduk just because I'm a big fan. But I'd say another band too. I would say Cradle of Filth, just because I've been a fan since I was a kid, and I can tell that they have a lot of punk rock influence in their music, even though they got the gothic symphonic thing kind of going on. I can tell that they have punk rock in their hearts, so I respect that.
Hell yeah, man, that would be badass. And Marduk, man, those guys are fucking crazy, man. That last record they put out was insane, dude.
Yeah, I was definitely digging it. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. As far as what's coming up next for you guys? What kind of things do you have? Do you have anything that you want to announce?
Our next show, March 30th. We're playing here in Calgary, and it's an all black metal show. A couple of touring bands. We have Sun Eater from Vancouver and Wield and Woe from Boise, Idaho. And we also have Necht as well, our friends here from Calgary.
Nice. Speaking of Canada, I got a question from the chat room. Lady Red wants to know about traveling to Winnipeg. Did you see any road bumps? Did you experience any road bumps? I don't know.
I like actual like potholes in the road.
I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm guessing there must be some bumpy roads up there.
I mean, I remember it was a rough city. I wasn't out there for very long. Just for the one show. Yeah, I just remember it was a rough city, but yeah, maybe it was we hit some road bumps for sure.
Another question from the chat. Lion from Lisbon wants to know when are you guys going to come tour in Portugal?
We would love to come out there. No concrete plans at the moment, but always open to if there's an offer out there.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, for people out there who want to support you guys and buy some merch, buy some music, do whatever, where's the best place for them to go?
Just check out Black Pestilence on Bandcamp. All the merch is up there. If you want custom orders, we do that too. Just send us a message, an email, whatever, and we'll hook you right up.
Damn straight, man. Bandcamp is the shit, man. There you go. You heard it here, folks. Fucking go to their Bandcamp and buy that shit. Right on, man. Well, I'm about out of questions for you. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Stay tuned. We have a lot of
Hey, I lost you.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Hey, yeah. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, we lost you, man. You were telling us something coming up.
Yeah, no, basically just we have a lot of tour plans coming up, and hopefully we'll see you in a city at some point this year or next.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag real quick?
For sure.
All right. Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Black Pestilence, and you are listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
This is Black Pestilence, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah. All right, man. Awesome. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Black Pestilence for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
Awesome.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, brother.
Awesome. Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Cheers. There you have it, folks. Black Pestilence live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking Radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway. Do whatever you got to do, man. If you don't see U-Haul trucks everywhere tomorrow, you are seriously not cranking it up loud enough like we are, man. Seriously, man, crank it up. This is Black Pestilence.